All my bitches bad as shit. We on top like chandelier. We make a movie, curve full of baddies and bougies. Glocks, FNs, and Uzis. I might pop out like John Wayne.
Poohchello, action.
Man, what's good? Poohchello, man, welcome to the show, man.
Same here.
Oh, I don't even know where to begin because it's like, it's full circle. We're back at it again. I haven't seen you, like I said, I haven't seen you since 04, 05.
The start of my journey.
You started your journey, I remember an older dude getting placed in my cell. Stressed at that time, man. But you had a lot on your plate.
That's right.
And I think I just blew try. I think I just lost try. And for the audience that don't know Poohchello, this my big bro. He just came home, ain't been home 2 months. How long you did?
21 years.
21 years. It was a fight though.
And look, it ain't come easy.
But you here.
I mean, I ain't expected to come easy.
So let's bring the audience up to speed. Poohchello, where you from?
Colorado Ranches, Florida.
Colorado Ranch, Florida. That's out here in what? For the ones that don't know, you know the world is big, so you gotta let them know.
Currently, we sitting in Hollywood. This Hollywood. Colorado Ranches is like 2 minutes from here. 2 minutes. Straight up 56, right across from the road. Colorado Ranches.
You was raised here all your life.
Formerly they call it West Park right now. Born and raised right there.
Okay. Because you know we gotta give a vigil for the ones that don't know. That's in Africa looking at this show. The ones that's in England looking. You understand? So we gotta give them that vigil. So you were born and raised all your life. So what elementary school you went to? What middle school?
I went to Miramar Elementary.
From
there, I traveled to Henry D. Perry middle school. And now I had a decision to go to MacArthur High School or Hollandale High School.
Why you had to go to MacArthur, man? Keep it honest, man.
I didn't want to go to MacArthur. I went to Hollandale.
But why it was a choice between MacArthur?
Due to the residence where I was staying at the time. You had to go, you was bused by address.
Gotcha.
But I didn't want to go to Hollandale. I didn't want to go to MacArthur.
Went to Hollandale. So let me ask you this then. How was your upbringing with the school life, your upbringing as a child? Like, were you good with your grades? Were you the one they called the black sheep? How'd that go? Were you the one that was gonna excel out the family? Talk to me.
I just wanted to be. Really, I went to Hollandale to be close to my father.
Okay.
And my father had, transferred to Hollandale family, so I wanted to follow him. Going to Hollandale High, I think I would be closer to him. Able to leave school and go see him, spend time with him.
So you were raised in separate household with your mom and dad, or y'all was?
Of course.
Okay. I'm following.
Of course I was. So I wanted to play football. Started out playing football, practicing football rather. And summer 1989, I was shot. I was shot in my leg.
This high school?
Yeah.
So you was shot in high school?
In 9th grade.
9th grade?
Yes.
So tell me how we go from practicing, trying to play football to getting shot like that. That don't happen to an average kid, man.
Innocent bystander. It was during this time the Jack Boys were really relevant in the neighborhood.
Jack Boys. We for the ones that don't know about Jack Boys were the ones that that was real big back in the day. Snatching pocketbooks, taking people gold chains, snatching people out their cars.
Stuff like that.
So how you get caught with the straight fire? What happened?
Just as a kid, we going on with this young man's house. We used to hook up music and cars and stuff like that. And when he pull up, we like, hey man, the Jack Boys ride. And we like, hey, you know what I got for the Jack Boys? Went in his glove compartment, reached for a 357 and the gun went off. Boom. Shot me right in the
So it was an accident?
Yeah, it was an accident. Totally.
Wow.
He didn't mean to do it,
Did he, what ended up happening to him? Like, did he get arrested?
No, he turned himself in. It was up to me to press charges against him. You know what I'm saying? It was an accident. I let that be.
Gotcha. So that ruined your career with football?
Yeah, I was just going to play football because I seen my cousin them at Hollandale High.
Gotcha.
They playing football. I had one cousin that made it to Missouri State. You know what I'm saying? He was doing good in college and stuff like that. I just wanted to follow him just to say I did it too.
So let's move forward then. In your house, how many of y'all siblings are there?
It was 4 of us.
4 of you. Brothers, sisters?
I had two sisters and a brother.
Two sisters and brothers.
Correct.
Okay. Let's talk about uncles. Uncles, aunties. How many of them were there?
Oh, it was a lot of them. On my father's side, may have been 4 and 4, 4 aunties, 4 uncles.
4 aunties, 4 uncles on your father's side. What
My
about your
father's
mom's
side,
side?
on my mother's side, 3 and 4.
Okay, so let's move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You going to school, you got shot, kind of hindered your process with trying to join the football team. So
Yeah, it was over with. When I got shot, it was over with.
It was over with. So now let's go now. Like, did you graduate high school?
No.
So what stopped you from getting a diploma?
I mean, once I got shot, I was deterred from doing anything in school. I just like,
So you stopped going to school altogether?
Yeah, absolutely. No, after my injury, I went to Hollandale Adult School for a little while.
Yeah, that's like
try to
a
keep
tech
mama
school.
pleased.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, like a tech school for
Right.
GED.
Right, for GED.
Yeah, for GED. Did you
keep
ever
mama happy?
Did you ever get the GED?
No, I got my GED in prison.
Okay, but we ain't gonna go there. You know, you understand? I gotta let the audience know what we.
Yeah.
Did we get the GED at that time?
No,
so
sir.
I picture you around 16, 17, 18 trying to please
16,
your mom.
17. Try to
So we ain't get the GED.
Try to stay up underneath mother's house, so I got to go to school, stay in mom's house, and stuff like that.
Because she would have kicked you out had you not tried to get that GED.
Ain't no question.
Okay. So what ended up happening then? You had to get kicked out because you ain't get the GED.
No, I went to go live with my mother's mother.
Your grandma?
One of my grandmothers, Miss Dot.
Miss Dot. All right.
That's right. I was gonna stay with Miss Dot.
Okay, I'm listening.
Miss Dot, I was Miss Dot's baby. One of her favorite babies. So she taught me everything. Basically, like it didn't really matter if I go to school. You go to school, but just don't get in no trouble.
You was the baby boy. She loved you. You could do no wrong in her eyes.
Well, I was the one that what we call weaned.
Gotcha.
She kept me up under her skirt.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Teach me how to sew, cook, clean, stuff like that. She didn't allow me to go play at the park.
Gotcha.
It's my mom's mom.
Yeah.
So
grandma, big mom.
That's mama.
Yeah.
Bahama mama. The original Bahama mama.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So she told you everything, all the necessities you needed.
I mean,
life.
our history. I didn't know. I come from our DNA. We come from a lineage of priests, our priests and priestess.
Right.
I was taught this as a lesson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That you're anointed, you blessed. But I really couldn't understand that. Growing up, I always thought that it was something else outside of me that was keeping me, but not really knowing what it was. You follow me?
I got you.
So
I got you.
Basically, this lesson that you don't get.
So now we're at 17, 18, living with Big Mama.
With Big Mom. Then that time, it's 1990, 91. 80, I'm gonna say 88. Like about the 8th, I'm gonna go back to 1988. My sister met this young man, named Jerome Bryant. Heavy in the streets.
Your sister?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's out though.
Of course.
Okay.
We had to find the things. I used to wash his cars, Ferraris, Porsches, Benzes, all this stuff, Broncos, all this stuff. I'm 15, 16 years old driving this stuff.
Right.
So, from there I just wanted to borrow his jewelry. Give me the jewelry, give me a couple $1,000 to put in my pack, and I'm the man.
Right.
He ain't never introduced me no drugs or nothing, but I just lived that life.
You were blessed to see the finer things in life.
At a young age.
What you thought was the final thing.
What I thought was the final thing.
Right.
At a young age, you follow me? So, that's what it was.
So what did you do at that time to get money?
All I had to do was just show up.
All you had to do was show up.
Show up to his house. He was, here you go, to stay out of trouble.
Gotcha. So Big Homie was really trying to keep you out of trouble. Big Homie was really just blessing you just to be, because you were part of the family.
Right. Just like, just stay out of trouble. That's what it was. And then the same day I got shot, it's the same day he got killed.
So the one that was actually trying to prevent you from taking a certain path,
correct,
and blessing you, he was blessing you with what he was getting, right, but in the same way trying to keep this away from you. Right. A lot of big homies did that back in the day. Yeah, why you think big homies now don't do that? They send the youth out there to crash.
For one, the world that we living in today is like there's so much darkness around our people. It ain't no leaders. You know what I'm saying? There's very few leaders, and the spiritual teachers are not teaching. The philosophical principles of the church is not being applied to the communities.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So the leadership is not there, for one. Two, I mean, like I tell you all the time on the phone, these days with these youngsters, you got to show them. Because it's about likes and posts and stuff like that.
Right.
To the fact that You just got to make them a movie. You can't.
So you're saying that these youngsters, they're more visual than listeners.
Ain't no question. Now, if you show them,
Right.
they're gonna be like, because we live in a monkey see, monkey do environment. It's like if I do something positive, somebody gonna try to do it too, so I can do it too.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, like I say, man,
You get in the blueprint, show them how to do it, they're gonna copy and paste.
ain't no question.
Gotcha.
You know,
So when he died, that affected your journey.
Yeah, because I seen my sister go from this beautiful young woman to someone I didn't recognize.
Oh, that devastated her.
It devastated her. And then I realized.
So do you think? I'm not going to even say do you think, because I like to tell people, yeah, when they glorify or when they talk about that life, it's the happiness are few, are slim. Like it's not that
short-lived.
Yeah, that's what
the success and the happiness is short-lived.
Because the tears are there, the devastations are there, the tragedies are there.
It's always gonna be there.
The pains are there, the anguish are there.
Absolutely. I mean, so you look at individuals run when you say, okay, I'm in the street. It's short-lived.
Short-lived.
But
you know, we like to just talk about the little, as I call it, the clickbait, the little 5 second of happiness, joyness, the money, the cars, but people don't talk about the 10, 20 years you're not gonna have them cars, the jewelries, that you're gonna be sitting behind a hard concrete wall.
Once you get that,
but they're not gonna talk about that. They just gonna talk about, as I like to call it, that little run you had.
Well, a lot of them don't want to see that concrete. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't. Just to say, like, you know, in 2005 when I met you,
right?
You had just blue trial. You got 2 cases like me. You fighting the state and you fighting the Fed.
At that time, tell you the truth, I didn't even know the state was coming from.
So here it is. I'm 28. I'm 29 years old. I just turned 30.
I remember
in the cell with you.
I remember that.
And I'm like, man, they got this indictment wrong. It ain't me. I ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you like, hey, bro, they got you.
Yeah.
You got to get it up off you. Go to that law library. You taught me what law was. You taught me what 841 statute was, 848 statute, CC. You taught me all these things in the cell.
Right.
Not knowing that later on I would have to apply this stuff myself. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I get this lawyer. But all the while, you knew. I think you just ain't want to be the one to bust my bubble.
Oh, I did bust your bubble. I did. Listen, I told you straight. I said, listen, ain't nobody gonna get you up out of here but yourself. You said it. No lawyers.
At the same time, like, man, you crazy. You like, they ain't got you. Know what I'm saying? I'm looking at, man. You know that. You know, so you know, it's just a lesson that I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? And like, through the grace of God, man, I'm here. I sit before you, man, having an aneurysm to the brain, a stroke to the brain. Look at me.
You look great, man. You look great, man.
Thank you, bro.
So. You know, people don't know the story now.
No.
We're going to speed up how we got to this, to where we met in the cell. So what happened? Like, what was the investigation about? Well, because your sister boyfriend died. True. She's not the woman that you once known.
No, she had
what changed. Did you have to do now?
I got to be a man as a young man. Because I seen, you know, Jerome, he left 2 kids, Carisha and Brittany. You know, he left them 2 other children.
So they're fatherless now.
Yeah, they fatherless. I got to be the uncle and the father.
Uncle and the father.
You see what I'm saying? Powerful. So, you know, it was a period in my life that I had to be like, okay, you got to make a decision. What it's gonna be? I got to make this decision not just for me,
for the family,
but for them. Because I know at the state the condition that my sister was in,
she can't raise them.
She can't raise them. But she focusing on why did it happen. And nobody questioned when things happen at the time. You just be like, why we got to go through this? You see what I'm saying?
Especially lose a breadwinner. Yeah. You lose a breadwinner, that's another animal.
It's one of those things that no family want to swallow.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
So now you had to pick up the mantle.
True. You know, so and then, you know, life change event. You know, she got her life back, you know, she got her head back on straight, and then, you know, she met another individual.
Right.
Her name is Diaz.
So we're talking about within that same time period, that time frame.
2 years span later, you know, once she got, look, you got to shake out he gone, and nothing you can do, you can't bring him back.
Yeah, can't bring the dead back.
So she started dating again 2-3 years later and met another individual, and there it was, you know?
Right.
So life began.
So this other individual, is it fair to say he was in the streets too?
No question.
So what makes you think a women are attracted to these type of men, knowing that she's just lost? One to the street, and yet she's
But I'm gonna just tell you this though.
talk to me now, because you know
I'm gonna say that she's a very beautiful woman.
right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you know, us being individuals in the street, a lot of times that we make fast money. We think that I got to get something nice to go inside my hip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe that he was more attracted to her than she was to him. You follow what I'm saying? But long story short, you know, he ended up doing the federal being himself. You know,
so we got one that she lost that died, and another one she lost to the feds.
To the system.
So where are you in all of this?
I'm the one that started the briefing on. You follow me? They building it, you know, at this time, you know, everybody just like.
So this is the same individual that went to the feds.
True. You know, so I mean,
I'm
the case, you know, it's. I should have been there, but I wasn't there.
Right.
You know, through the grace, through the Most High, you know, I'm prayed up. You know, I'm doing what I got to do to stay focused, and don't you take that trip. Don't you go. So, you know, long story short, dude ended up going, and a lot of dudes got arrested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, he ended up doing federal time, and you know, I went years after that, and ended up doing the state deal. Trafficking cocaine, came home, and started my own business. You know.
So how much time you did in that stretch? How much time did you do?
3 years. About 3 years.
So you did 3 years for trafficking.
True.
So for cocaine trafficking, you not knowing that this would later haunt you because you got a conviction for cocaine trafficking.
That's right.
So
not knowing that it would be applied in a section called 851.
Listen, I gotta get them.
You see,
we talking amongst ourselves. We know what's going on, but I gotta get the audience up to speed to understand how they lay the foundation to get you trapped in the place that can't nobody get you out but God.
But God.
So you pled guilty. You go to prison, state prison for 3 years. You plead guilty to cocaine. Trafficking cocaine.
Drug program, I was back out at 18 months.
You're back at 18 months. And this state level. It's not fair, state level. But your sister boyfriend, he's up the road in the feds.
True.
You come back out. Why didn't you straighten out your life then?
I did.
Okay, so talk to me.
But what happened then, you know, I came home with a plan, you know, to open up Poohchello Seafood.
Poohchello Seafood, what we looking at right now.
Right. You know, this is my nephew's establishment. You know, but I'm gonna say this, you know, jealousy and envy is hard to swallow.
Right.
You could try to. Nobody want to assist you when you want to do right, but everybody assists you when you want to do wrong. You follow me? So lo and behold, I went through 2 locations. First location they called ATF saying I was selling cigarettes and beer without a license as a convicted felon, so I had to move. You know. Then here come, I moved, get this establishment down the street here. You know, took me $700. You follow me? So the police received tips then. Oh, he came home, he bought the building for $500,000. He got to have drug money, So I'm already under the microscope. You follow me? Not knowing it.
So they didn't like the fact that you want to change your life and just open a restaurant called Poohchello Seafood.
That's it. You know, just
they didn't like that.
No, I mean, you know.
So how do you overcome them hurdles? How do you overcome them obstacles?
Just keep pressing on, you know.
Okay.
Keep pressing on, then.
So what year are we in now?
2001.
2001.
The very first day I set up, you know, started selling food from that establishment, authorities received a call saying that I was on the corner.
So here you are selling seafood, but they getting tips. You selling drugs out the establishment.
I'm selling drugs from the side of the road. I'm getting crack cocaine to the youth to sell. You know what I'm saying?
So they basically are saying it's a front. It's a storefront.
It's a front.
It's a front. You just use
saying,
that. You selling seafood. Right. I mean, you not selling seafood.
You know, luckily, you know, the guy, when the code enforcement in the city of Hollywood came that day, he was like, man, what you planning to do? I said, man, look, I've been home from prison 1 year today. And I'm just trying to feed my family. And he said, man, you know what, I believe you, man. He rewarded me for my honesty.
Wow.
Because, you know, as a convicted felon, then you couldn't get no occupational license.
Yes.
So he paid away for me to get an occupational license, and there it was. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as I continue to describe, you know, the situation, you know, like I say, jealousy and envy, and beef is hard to swallow sometimes. You know?
Elaborate.
I mean that, you know, people, you could be successful, and it's gonna always be somebody that's like counting on your downfall.
Right.
You follow me?
So we're in 2001.
2001, 2002.
So you get your occupational license.
Correct.
You're able to run your seafood, Poohchello Seafood, which was very much talked about. Everybody in Broward was coming to it. I knew people from there were going to it.
True.
How did we find ourselves in the cell?
Boy, look at here.
48 months later.
It went from.
Because I would imagine if I have a thriving business.
It went from receiving the phone calls to the hotline to, commissioner saying, "Hey man, all the drugs in the community coming from that restaurant over there."
From Poohchello. So one little restaurant is pushing all the drugs.
All the drugs coming from Poohchello seafood. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it was a hearsay case from the beginning.
It was.
Phone calls was made. People debriefed to get home. You know what I'm saying? So when they bring all this stuff before a grand jury, the grand jury would question like, "What are we doing?" You understand what I'm saying? Y'all saying this individual is doing all these crack dealing, but he's nowhere to be found.
They don't got you on one video.
The video that they do have me on, they showed me eating from they showed me eating food from that a styrofoam tray.
So that's the only video throughout your whole shop. That's the only video you had. So before we get you on that video of them saying that was the reason why they arrested you, didn't you have a state charge you were fighting?
Well, yeah.
At that time?
At the time,
let's elaborate on. Let's talk about that before we get to the
video. I was out on state. Individuals came. It was supposed to be a robbery attempt.
A robbery attempt.
Then once they get to the hospital, there was a drug deal going bad.
Right.
Follow me in Hollywood police, the informant, tell them like, "Hey man, just said it was about drugs. With all the evidence point to you shooting yourself. You follow me, just say it's about drugs and we're gonna let you go home." And that's what happened.
So we got someone trying to rob your store.
Yeah.
Or trying to rob you. And he ended up getting shot.
Right.
And police convinced him, because he's an informant,
right,
to say that he was robbing you for drugs.
Right. It was a drug deal going back.
It was a drug deal going back.
Right. And
you end up going to trial on that.
Of course.
And I was there to witness that trial.
Of course.
Because you came back not guilty.
Of course.
But you thought it was over then.
I thought it was over.
So what people don't understand, there's an underlying story to this.
True.
You had a best friend called Alex, who the feds had an investigation under.
True.
And I remember telling you what a sealed indictment was, because at that time you really didn't know what was a sealed indictment.
Right.
And you learned later when I told you to get a due process. Let's talk about that.
Well, like I say, man, God bless his memory.
God bless the dead.
So as far as, I couldn't speak on the lifestyle he showed me. It was a peaceful lifestyle.
Right.
Like, man, listen, Pooch, you got to get yours out of the cash register. You see what I'm saying? Right. This ain't for you. The streets ain't for you.
Right.
Because this is me. So, I was never questioned about it. My attorney was never questioned about it. But which I didn't. You know what I'm saying? With things going on behind the scenes that, this is why they were pressing it so hard.
Yeah.
So like I say, man, he always told me, man, look, get yours out of the cash register. So
the sealed indictment never came to, because God bless the day Alex died. But you were to be defended on that indictment that was supposed to come out.
No, I wasn't part of that.
You wasn't part of that case?
No, I wasn't part of that.
Okay. So how did you become the main focus for the feds?
Basically, based on the hearsay evidence that people were debriefing. You got to look at
they couldn't debrief on the big fish no more, so they had to find
individual
somebody
that started this case. He was in jail. At one time, he was married to my ex-wife. You see what I'm saying? Jealous.
So this is your ex-wife,
ex-husband,
ex-husband, debriefing on you.
Right.
And for people that don't understand debriefing is basically they're starting an investigation. They have an individual who's starting to cooperate with authorities to see if he could get a lesser sentence for what he was charged for. But he's not yet promised that he would get a lesser sentence unless he give up, as we say, the world.
Right.
Go ahead.
So, he initiated the investigation.
Right.
It was more to him. You had more, it was a mountain of hearsay garbage versus evidence. Physical evidence. Yeah. What we know, you've been in the feds, I've been in the feds.
Yeah.
You don't need no evidence.
Circumstantial. They call it circumstantial.
That's right.
Circumstantial evidence. As long as they get 20 people saying the same thing, that become their evidence right there.
True. It could be entered on the 404B.
404B. Yeah.
Acts. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, man, I'm just thankful, man, for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I'm still living. I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
No, we ain't gonna listen.
So
we're not gonna highlight on them.
You know what I'm saying? So I just, and I got a saying. We got a saying in the teaching that we teach. You know, every individual that done what they done, spoke what they spoke, played the part they played, they did what they were supposed to do.
Listen.
You understand what I'm saying? They are what we call ministering agents in the scheme that God has for my life. You see what I'm saying? So had not they done what they done,
you would not become the man you are today.
I wouldn't be the guy I am today.
So they had to do what they needed to do.
There was a sign to do that.
And listen, it's like I tell people.
There was a sign to do that.
Judas was signed to betray Jesus.
I mean,
he was assigned to do that. He knew Jesus knew what was going to happen. That was his sign.
That was his assignment.
Jesus let it out.
You know what I'm saying? But one thing I do remember you telling me, like, man, listen, man, you can't submit.
Can't.
Because if you submit, here come the mountain.
Yeah.
The mountain of trouble. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, I never forget, man. It was this song my grandma used to play. My grandmother Dot, how my mama used to play, you know, all the time during Goombay time. You know, she's like, it's a song say, children. So the children say, yes, grandma, grandpa. Say, what have you been to? Down, grandma. She said, how is she keeping? Safe and sound. What did she teach you? Don't bend down. You see what I'm saying? Don't bend down.
Don't bend down. Yeah,
don't bend down.
I got it.
So I mean, me being, it's in my. You bend what you don't break.
Yeah, you bend but don't break. Don't never break.
That's what it is.
So how much time do you end up catching after losing that trial?
I ended up getting 45 years.
45 years.
I got 30.
30 years.
From the federal case. Ended up getting an additional 15 for the attempts from the state after the authorities, you know, the people that was involved, let me say that way, say it this way, they wrote a mandate and said that the lower court was wrong for granting me my judgment of acquittal, and you are hereby to sentence them to 15 years running concurrent with the 30 years. Now ask yourself, why did they do that? Talk to me. Reason being they did that, they didn't have actual jurisdiction over the federal case because the indictment was never returned against me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you running the 15 years concurrent with the 30, the 15-year state charge is in my actual name. I'm on the house arrest under that. See what I'm saying? My indictment was returned against my father, who ain't had nothing to do with the case.
Right.
You follow me? Right. So once they convicted me for the 30 years, it was an issue about personal jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction.
And what people don't understand, you had families that I mentioned earlier, uncles and whatnot, that took the stand against you.
Ain't no question.
Betrayal at the highest.
Ain't no question.
Disloyalty at the highest.
They did that.
How did you? I like to highlight this moment because people don't understand that position. When you were in trial,
right?
How did it feel to see the ones that you once loved, the ones I can't even say once loved, you might still love them, the ones that you loved at that moment, take the stands and said you were the reason why everything was happening?
Knowing that had nothing to do with it.
How did you feel?
It crushed me. But you know,
people don't.
It's like
people don't.
You and I both know
that.
It's not a good feeling to have no one from the other side, being a loved one, a friend, call your name from the stand. That's not a good feeling.
Right.
You understand? But like I say, you know, before I just didn't believe he was gonna do it.
And we're talking about your uncle,
right?
Someone that raised you.
I mean, I you know, I always looked up to him. You follow me? So when they say he was gonna testify, I'm like, that ain't my uncle. Ain't gonna do that. Not my uncle.
And the feds, they don't. The feds are not like this. Oh, this was the state. This happened on the state.
No, they're feds.
Like I was gonna say, in the feds, it's not like you know who's gonna testify against you until that day comes. There's no deposition being taken. It's nothing. They just lined them up on that day. You see who's coming to testify against you.
I had 16 separate teams.
That means 16 different individuals telling on you.
And the witness list contained 20.
And you would not know. And what people don't understand, people think you'll know. No, in the feds, the day you realize who's telling on you is the day that they take the stand. It's not like the state where there's depositions and you're prepared for those witnesses. Right. There's no preparation.
Right.
On the day of trial, they come through the door one by one and take the stand and testify against you.
Right.
So you have 16 individuals that you did not know about Who came in and told him?
Had them been transferred back from prison
Wow.
to FGC Miami.
Wow.
After speaking to their agents and case managers and unit managers, how the system go within the prison system.
Yeah.
That they got testimony to help the government's case. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, man,
glory be to God, because that had to happen, because you're no longer the man that I once knew. You had to shed that old man off.
I had to die. Poohchello was killed downtown Federal, only to be resurrected. Poohchello Seafood 2 come about.
Right.
Once I got sentenced to the 30 years.
I love this story here.
My nephew came to see me.
Right.
Which is JJ. You know
what
I'm saying? This is him and his mom and his dad establishment.
Right.
And at the time I'm on CM, which is close inmate monitoring, where they put you before the officer's boot for visitation. And my nephew JJ was like, he said, "Oh man, I love you, but I can't come see you like this." You know what I'm saying? He said, "But I'm gonna make you proud of me."
This your nephew saying, "I can't see you like this."
JJ might have been 14 years at the time.
I can't see you looking like this.
I can't see you like this. But he said, "What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna make you proud of me."
Right.
You know, a year went by, 2 years went by, we're on lockdown. You know what I'm saying? I'm receiving letters like, "Boy, Poohchello, up and pop."
So let's get it up to speed. When you was incarcerated, your restaurant was still up and running.
Yeah, what he did.
So when did you lose your restaurant? When did you lose your restaurant?
Well, that's a story that
we don't need to go in depth. But when did you lose it?
The day I lost it. The day I left the street.
So you lost it the same day you left the street.
The same day I left the street. It was a shadow. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a situation where individuals waited to seize the moment.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And they seized the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to look now. Time go on, I hear dudes, they selling tilapia, lemon pepper, all that. I brought that from up north.
Down here.
Right. You ain't nobody have tilapia.
No. You the one pushing all that. Lemon peppers, all,
Everybody really didn't know what that was.
What?
Poohchello did it first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I did it first. You know what I'm saying? Like I told, like Buddy used to say, man, get yours out the cash register.
Get out the cash register.
And that's what I did. Flat foot hustle. That's all I ever know. Whether with water, whatever it may be, my grandmother taught me to survive through our hands. Use your craft to survive.
So we go 3 years later while you're incarcerated after your nephew say, I'm no longer gonna see you no more because it's devastating for me to see you in this position.
Right.
So now, what happened? You said you hear Poohchello's popping.
Like popping.
So who got Poohchello popping?
My little nephew.
Your nephew.
Him and his mom and his dad.
Wow.
From the side of the house.
So
I'm teary-eyed, but at the same time.
Right. You couldn't let your legacy die.
He did it for me. You know what I'm saying? He made me proud. I never forget it. You know what I'm saying? So Poohchello the Great is a story how I overcame 45 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Poohchello Seafood is a brand. It's their brand. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I mean, I think my calling is to go out and reach and teach the people. So I'm no longer Poohchello. Poohchello did.
So I can only imagine sitting 45 years in prison.
With 45 years.
With 45 years. You're in prison. We're talking about penitentiary. Because I'm hearing stories. Absolutely. Man, I just saw Poohchello, Coleman. Yeah, I just saw. So what do you do all your bid?
I did 10 years penitentiary.
10 years penitentiary.
18 months medium.
And for the ones that don't understand, when he say penitentiary,
that's Coleman one behind that wall.
He was behind the walls. Behind the walls that stood at least 10 foot, 12 foot, 16 foot. Where you can't see outside but up, but looking up.
True.
And the only thing he was able to see
was the sky.
Was the guards on top.
Was the sky
in the gun towers.
Absolutely.
In the gun towers.
I mean,
So you did 10 years in that condition. We're talking about from a restaurant, man, trying to open up a business, to now you got 45 years amongst
life sentences.
Right.
I mean, then I had to explain.
So how your perspective changed?
Once I got to May 5th, 2005, I got entered to USP1 Coleman. August, they take me away from Coleman, take me back to the state court, give me the 15 years on acquitted conduct, on acquitted attempted murder charge. Right. So now when I come back, I got to explain to the Florida car like, hey, where that paperwork at? Man, they just gave me 15 years. Man, we got to see that paperwork.
Yeah, because
in their mind,
because you just left. Yeah, you got here and left. Yeah, so, usually that's a red flag. Yeah, that's a red flag.
I couldn't produce it. So like, you know, got a time, okay, state paperwork, you know, if they follow, they send it in the mail. But I'm like, listen, man, this is what happened, man. They took me back down there and re-sentenced me, man. They ain't doing all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, for one, they come in 12 o'clock one night and take me out the back door.
Yeah.
Like, kidnap me. So,
Yeah.
everybody witnessed that. They're like, man, where you going? It's like it was some secret stuff.
It don't look right. It don't look right.
So,
and you know, in the penitentiary, we tend to look at paperwork because paperwork is the only one that you gotta understand. A lot of us, when I say us, a lot of individuals lost trial or were found guilty by individuals that took the witness stand and got deals.
correct.
They cooperated. They got as they call it, 5K1, Rule 35. These are statutes that allow individuals to cooperate and get their sentence cut in half. So in the feds, because there's so many people in penitentiary behind, we call it the G-Wall, that got so much time because of these individuals, when they are sentenced, because let me tell you something, the government don't care about them. As soon as they're done with them, they send them to the wolves,
Right.
meaning they send them off to prison. And when they go to prison, paperwork has to follow. And when they get to the penitentiary, we then ask for something that's called a PSI, pre-sentencing investigation report, meaning it would clarify whether or not this individual got a Rule 35 or 5K1. But you know, nowadays they found ways to, how would I say, clandestine that. You
Right.
can't really tell nowadays.
Right.
But back then, it was hard.
Right. It was hard to hide.
It was hard to hide
You know
if
what
you
I'm
were
saying?
if you were snitching.
I mean, to me, like individuals like Chicken Man,
Right.
my homeboy Peanut,
Right.
Killer Red, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, listen, just focus on what you got to do.
They all in the penitentiary with you.
Now these dudes, I mean, they done been in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But they telling me like, Cello, it ain't gonna be easy. I'm like, man, I got a good case. Everybody have a good case.
Everybody
You know what I'm
going
saying?
home.
It-
Everybody
Right.
innocent.
So everybody innocent.
Everybody
you know what I'm saying?
innocent.
So, but I just didn't believe the fact that once I realized what I was going through, it was bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I'm going through it, but why am I going through it? You follow me? Is it for a purpose? Because when every pain that we receive is for a purpose, if we believe. So
They need to hear that.
through
What you said, every pain is for a
every
purpose.
pain that we receive is for a purpose.
Wow.
And that's no matter how painful it is, you just got there and do it. And find reasoning why you're going through what you're going through. You see what I'm saying? I didn't like you know for yourself. I didn't order no hood novels.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
First thing I ordered was the 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah.
The Richest Man of Babylon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And other books to help me up here.
Grow.
And then
Mentally.
I think the fifth book I ordered was A Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. You know, and my mother Sean, she's like, I ain't sending you that book. We ain't claiming that. Not knowing I had to read it to become strengthened. You see what I'm saying?
Because he went through it.
Read your Bible. Now I done dissected that Bible. It's really, we really know that it's not too much an individual can tell me about that Bible.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You know that for a fact because you watch me do it.
Right.
And we just go through it daily on a day-to-day basis. But Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, man, it really prepared me for what was ahead of me.
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I understand that, you know, make no mistake about it. This is my belief. The state, the Fed, they don't care about the drugs you sell, the guns and how we kill each other. What they really care about is your soul or your entity. The power that you have to
Influence.
the influence.
Right.
Same thing that they paying our youngsters for today.
Right.
They name, image, and their likeness. So it really wasn't about the drugs. It was about me having that community, me having that youth over there, saying, hey, man, we're going to do what Poohchello can do. They don't want a Messiah.
No.
See, because they gave us a picture of Caesar Borgia.
Right.
Said he was Jesus.
Right.
And as long as that we think that he's going to return to help us, we're going to be in the condition that we in. You follow me?
Right.
So we are the ones, we the pillars of the community. You and I must restore the fabric of this community based on what we went through in life. Our experience, because everybody ain't meant to go to jail. And if they do go to jail, they not submitted to go through what we went through. You see what I'm saying? Here it is, you know, I was sitting 30 years, 6 months later, get an additional 15 years. And I'm like, man, what's going on? I remember telling my cellie, I'm like, man, this ain't right. You see what I'm saying? Long story short, my federal prosecutor had done gave the state detainer to his wife, which was a state judge in the state court.
So
to keep this 15 years on me forever.
So let me ask you this: with them 45 years, did it ever cross your mind that you would not come home, that you would die in prison?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about
Did these thoughts come across your mind? Did suicide ever come across your mind? Be honest with me.
No, sir. I never thought of killing myself. I just thought about,
you were never passive suicidal, meaning, when I say passive suicide, meaning if you were to catch a heart attack, you wouldn't care if someone found you. You
got to save me. I didn't want to die. I didn't want.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I was getting at.
I didn't want that to be cemented. It's like, okay, because you remember, if you can remember, right, when they used to feed us,
right,
and they were like, cadet, you all right, but that one there we gonna kill. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
So, and I thought about it, like, damn, they really meant that though.
Yeah, they did.
Now SIS used to say that to me, but they was dead serious.
Dead serious.
You see, they were dead serious.
Right.
But why?
Because of your influence.
You talking about 35 grams of crack cocaine now. We ain't talking about 3,000 kilos.
Listen,
we ain't talking about no guns.
We had that in another segment. I was telling them that the crack law was so much targeted towards black people in the 90s and the 80s because the only people that were affected by the crack law was minorities.
Right.
The crack law did not affect the other race.
No.
It only affected the colors, the colored people, the Spanish, the blacks.
Right.
It did not affect no other race.
Right.
We're talking about right now. One of the reasons you're home, one of the reasons many other brothers I know are home, is due to the crack law that has changed, due to what they call the First Act, due to what they call the compassionate release. But now they're trying to admit that they were wrong with these laws. However, it don't give back the 20 to 30 years that these individuals done lost.
And you still got individuals that still serving time for crack. You got individuals that's calling me every day. I just had two guys that I left at the same institution. You know, one had just lost his cousin. The other one just lost his mom.
Right.
So when you see me with a Incarcerated Lives Matter on,
I love this shirt. I love this shirt.
I'm stuck in where I came from.
They matter. They matter.
They really matter. Because, like I say, one of my homeboys, one of my big homies, is like, man, Poohchello, I just lost my mom. Just go by and see if you could send some flowers. Poohchello, my little nephew, my aunt, just lost her son. Could you go over there and show your presence for me? I had no other choice but to do that because that's the situation that we dread in prison. You know, every individual that left me, I was gonna say, man, go by there and tell my mom and my grandma I'm good. Don't mind what because you know they had to put I was going crazy.
Right.
And I had to lost my mind and such, but I would always say, just go by there and let Grandma Ruth know I'm good.
Right.
Go by my mom house, let her know I'm good.
Right.
And that's not what they saying. You see what I'm saying? So you never want to hear a situation where I lost a loved one, I'm losing. You know what I'm saying? Just like
I don't think you know. I lost my mom, my dad, and my brother.
Correct.
On my last stretch.
And I'm sorry to hear that, man.
My mom, my dad, and my brother. My last stretch. So when I hear with them, that's the worst.
That's what you dread.
Dread that word.
So, and these brothers, you got brothers like they still fighting to get the first step at. You know what I'm saying? Mind you now, I received 15 phone calls because I had created a post days before the election.
Right.
Saying, listen, in the event that you don't receive the expectation that you expected, just remain calm and peaceful.
Right.
Because the election is going to be tilted the way they want to tilt it. Mm-hmm. I said, well, listen, man, you know, I don't agree with the rhetoric and the racism that comes from Donald J. Trump, but I do agree with that First Step Act. And I know that
a lot of them
for his party,
we would not have the first.
The footwork that was put in, like Van Jones from CNN even told you, like, hey, man, and he got backlash from it. If I got to go sit and shake hands with the devil for my African American brothers to come on, I had to do it again. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it wasn't that I'm aiming for no part.
No.
Because like I tell you, the work that we need starts with us. You know, the community rehabilitation starts with us, but we first got to be rehabilitated up here.
So when you finally we about to wrap this up. So when you finally go, because right now you're released on the compassionate.
Yeah.
So the compassionate is they felt like
I had nothing because they didn't ever give me the crack law. I never got
So you were supposed to get the crack law. They never gave it to you.
In 2008.
So they never gave it. It was never retroactive for you.
It was retroactive. They never applied it in my case.
That is crazy.
Hear me out.
So you were supposed to be home since.
No, I supposed to be home since 2008.
My God.
With all drug minus 2.
2008, when the crack law changed, but they
the
still found
when they gave everybody 2 levels that had drugs. I never got that. I never received the crack law. Right?
Right.
Why? Because the court never had personal subject matter jurisdiction to bring me back for the court to allow the law to apply to me. So here it is with the compassion. If you continue to deny him now, it's just blatant out something just ain't right.
And they don't give a damn.
So this just through the Most High, man, they spit me out.
So even then they were trying to keep you in.
Absolutely. I mean, I was supposed to be released in September, October.
So you've been out how long now?
Prison.
How long you been out now?
The prison
right.
had knew about my situation because I started at Coleman Complex.
Right.
The prison like, man, we ain't holding him. We can let him go today.
The prison said we ain't holding him.
We want him out.
How long you been out?
I got out June 14th, 2024.
So under 6 months.
Under 6 months.
No halfway house.
No, straight out.
Straight out. So here you is, prison, 21 years. No halfway house to prepare you for what you about to see. Right. How did you acclimate once you stepped out?
I'm still transitioning, but like I tell everybody, and I used to be like, they thought I was crazy. I'm like, listen, they had a thing to go to.
Everybody lied.
So what happened was, I used to tell everybody, hey man, I'm free. But like right now, I just feel like it was yesterday, and I was sitting in my cell like, man, I'm still alive. It's just that my flesh had to catch up with my spirit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're like, man, you just came home, you slow down. Man, I've been here.
So it don't even feel like you did 21 years.
It don't even feel like it.
I tell people that.
You see what I'm saying?
Some people,
when you realize you've been gone 2 decades. In my case, when I realize I've been gone 2 decades, it's when I see my daughter.
Right.
She's no longer that little girl that I remember.
Right.
She's 23 years old.
Right.
Like, my God. Right. But I try to tell people in the midst of me doing everything that I've been doing, it don't feel like I've been gone.
Right.
It's like, cause you remember that it's a saying that's true when they say it's only 2 days that you're in prison. The day you go in, the day you go out.
That's right.
Everything else, once you get out, everything else is like a blur.
I remember now, like I said when I first met you, I think it was you that gave me Psalm 7 to read.
Yeah, right.
So we started reading that song.
Right.
And I remember you said, man, whatever you do, don't let them break your spirit.
Okay.
And every phone call and every letter I used to read from my mom, she was like, keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
But that's all I had.
Faith.
You see what I'm saying? I know that people
Faith.
won't believe. I'm going to lose some cars, I'm going to lose all that. The tangible thing, but it don't matter. You understand what I'm saying? But what matters is the opportunity to do it again the second time. You follow me? Because you got individuals, you got youngsters that's coming up. They need a mirror to look in. You understand what I'm saying?
So the fact that you bring up the youngsters, what we like to say.
Now that I came home, I started mentoring over the minority.
Right.
Men of a certain standard, which is a non-profit organization to reach the at-risk youth. You see what I'm saying? To get, go out to the foster home, to the juvenile detention center, to talk to the at-risk, like, listen, you don't have to go down that path. Now it's going to be hard to convey them to cheer for the life of crime and say, okay, old school.
Okay, so what me, I'm 16, 17, I'm not listening to my parents. What can you tell me that could change my aspect, change my perspective on the trajectory that I'm on? I'm getting money. Hey, I'm not trapping. I'm not trapping like you were trapping back then. I'm on the computer. Right. I'm swiping. I'm talking about I'm getting 50K.
Right.
I'm 17 years old. What can you tell me, old school?
What I'm gonna tell
They
you
won't
is,
do nothing for you.
what is your life expectancy? How long that you plan to do that? See, let me show you something. And this is my belief.
Liars.
With the system that's going on today, everybody swiping and all that. I believe, like I said, this is my belief, that they let the firewall down because, okay, once the crack cocaine era dried up, the cocaine era dried up, there wasn't no more currency flowing through the community. They let the firewall down and made it easier for individuals to commit fraud so they could create a new system, right? Knowing that we done studied a large percentage of African Americans anyway. We can let them do that. They ain't gonna open up no business with it. You see what I'm saying? So it don't matter.
They gonna give us back the
They
money.
gonna give us back the money anyway. That's like the stimulus check.
We gonna give y'all the
We
money.
gonna give you the money, which we know y'all ain't gonna
Y'all gonna give us right back. Y'all gonna buy liability. Yeah, liability. No assets. No assets.
So we gonna do this. Now you see where the cash at.
Cause some of them ran up 100, 200K. They back square one.
Yeah, I mean, you just think about it. They debt pop. So it's like a system that was put in place.
So what you gotta tell the youngster then?
I mean, you gotta find your niche. First of all, like I tell myself, man, if you wake up in the morning and look in that mirror, you happy and content with what you see, then keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
But deep down inside, you look in that mirror, you know something ain't right. I can go put on everything I can put on, the best clothes I can find. But if I'm not there mentally, if my attire that I put on don't match me consciously, then that's a problem. You see what I'm saying? That's a problem.
So I'm gonna end it on this here. What does keeping it real mean to you, man?
I think you gotta keep it first and foremost, man. I believe you got to keep it real with your higher power.
Higher power.
Because granted, them used to tell you all the time, let your conscience be your guide. And see, what I know now, granted, you said that person ain't no good for you. Right. Don't you know the woman's intuition is more stronger than the man?
I just had a conversation with somebody the other day. It was Chicken Man.
Right.
We just had a conversation, right? And he said what you just said,
right.
And she could attest for that. Cause we was talking about. It's not that our parents back then didn't know. They didn't know our friends,
right.
But they knew the spirit.
Right.
They knew that spirit when they be like, he ain't right, she ain't right. It ain't that they don't know the person. They knew that spirit wasn't right.
That's the thing. And that's the thing. That's the time in these day and age, and it's sad to say, everybody is in darkness. Everybody's breathing in darkness. But it's only a few walking in light. But here's the thing. Them 45 years I encountered, I know it was evil. But if you was to spell evil backwards, what you got?
Lie.
You got live.
Yeah, lie.
You see what I'm saying?
They
So
lie.
if I went into a state of darkness,
That's all they do
it's
is
only
lie.
natural that I'm gonna come out enlightened.
Right.
But it's up to me to take this light and share it with others. You see what I'm saying? It does me no good. And it says this, man, it says that the ends you serve for yourself does you no good. Because you're gonna die with self. But the ends you serve for others will live on to eternity.
Because you put it out there for it to multiply.
That's right.
Put
And that's what makes man immortal. It's not about what we can harness,
It's what we could give.
what you give away.
I love that.
Because if I plant a seed today,
I
I
love
might
that.
not be around for it to see that tree grow.
But it's gonna grow.
Liar, liar, liar.
See, my little nephew, he seen that. He took that seed.
And it grew.
Look what he done.
Poohchello, yeah.
Look what he done. I ain't got no part of this establishment. But guess what? He ain't let it die.
Yeah.
He kept it going.
Love that.
You follow me?
Love that.
I mean, to the most high.
So I'm happy to have you here on this platform, man. I'm happy that you told the youth that if they know in their spirit, in their mind that something is not right, they need to let it go. Because let me tell you something. And I know I'm gonna digress a little because I know this man. He just did 21 years, man. I seen it. I seen it with my eyes, man. He was going through it with his wife.
All they do
He
is
was
lie
thinking
to
about
you.
his
Lie to
kids. This is torment that's why I created this podcast. Cause like I said, y'all want to glorify all the glitz. Y'all don't know the L's we take, man.
Run them
The
out,
tears
run
we
them out,
take,
and
man.
they
The
lie,
tears
lie,
that
lie.
we have in our cells, crying, man. And I'm not talking about tears where you see water probably dripping out. I'm talking about when our heart is shattered, broken by loved ones, people that you think that would beat up for us, only to find out it's all for nothing. Only to find out that the only person that's going to beat up for you is God throughout that whole process, because God is going to expose everyone
That's right.
that you thought
That's right.
were someone for you,
That's right.
and they were not.
That's right. But like I say, they was ministering agents in the scheme that God for you. Because you learn them. I learned the individuals. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, the woman I confide in as my spiritual helper, teacher, she said, "You're alone now." because you ain't got the stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you feel like you're lonely and there's nobody that you ain't got no company. Because you ain't got nothing. But when you had it, you couldn't turn from it. So keep them people right there where they at. Because as soon as you get the stuff again, because you're going to get it again.
Yo, you're going to get it again. You know who I like to say? Joe.
And
Joseph.
That's right.
These all, man, I tell people, man, just because he lost it, man, I don't care how long you lost it. Listen, your second, your second breath at life, your second chance at life, when God bless you, he bless you abundantly than what he did the first time.
Right. You lose the game. You follow me? I mean, like I say, man, the work is just beginning.
Man, you live there.
Thank you for having me
on the show, man. Thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying? You know, thank you, my brother. I'm glad I met you.
Nah, I love you, man. Love you, man. Love you. We good? It's gonna pick up.
Breaking my back, trying to get that. They gon' act like we cool, but they weren't that. I was dealing with it all on my own. Breaking my back, trying to get that. They gon' act like we cool, but they weren't that. I was dealing with it all on my own.